In today's Leeds news, more new deals. Gudmundsson arrives, Milinkovic-Savic inquiry, Lucas Perry move, Anton Stack competition, and today's rumour mill stories on El Hadji Malik Diouf and Oscar Glock. Morning folks, welcome back to The View for Monday morning, the 7th of July for your Leeds United news. Good day, football is almost back. We're only 2 weeks away from seeing Leeds United in action over in Stockholm. The Leeds Creator Cup also kicks off in 2 weeks' time. I'm sorry, but we're nearly there. 13 days till the Creator Cup. You can donate if you want to with the details down below. Also, you can buy tickets at the door. We've got a bar confirmed for the day as well if you want to have a pint and watch some football and have a bit of a laugh with us. The 20th of July, John Charles Stadium for Sport in Leeds. I'll let you know then. But yeah, players are back in pre-season training today. They should be doing their bits and pieces around Leeds Beckett University. Their testing that they tend to do at this time of the year. But there's plenty of news floating around this morning already. And it's starting to heat up a little bit. And I think we could be in for a pretty decent week or a busy week in terms of players potentially arriving at Thorpe Arch. We'll start off with some existing under-21 players who've been signed up for the new season. And an important part of Leeds Academy process for this season. Leeds continue to try and lock down under 21 talent for their Premier League 2 season coming up, and over the weekend 2 more names were confirmed to have signed on for the EPL 2 campaign. Highly rated left back Coben Byrne has signed a 2-year deal at the club, his first professional contract, and he was an ever-present in Leeds United's under-18 side last season. Did make a couple of appearances for the under-21 side as well. And nice to see Leeds locking down specifically a left back, just due to the fact that there isn't an awful lot of left backs floating around the club right now. So highly rated young player, 18 years of age, but great to lock him down for at least the next 2 years for him. But as I say, Bird wasn't alone in this, and Leeds United also confirmed a 2-year deal for Harvey Vincent, who also signed his first professional contract. The winger, as I say, signs a 2-year deal and is seen as a versatile forward for Scott Gardner's under-21 team this season. Again, Vincent's 18 years of age, was an ever-present in the under-18 side, but did clock up 14 appearances last season for the under-21 side and featured at youth level for England as well. So a good young player there as well, and nice to lock those two down right now. Over the weekend, we mentioned it on our Saturday news wrap, but Rory Mahady, our under-21 goalkeeper, also 18 years of age, has signed a 3-year deal at the club and is expected to be part of Leeds pre-season camp as part of his development this summer, and then move back into the under-21 side, where he's expected to be Leeds United's number 1 goalkeeper for the under-21s in their Premier League 2 campaign. He's a real prospect and a very exciting player to keep an eye on, especially in that goalkeeping position, and he's been phenomenal for Leeds since he's come down from Scotland. But the best of luck to Scott Gardner and all of these players as they head into their Premier League 2 campaign for next season. But nice to see those ones getting done and dusted in the background as well. Let's move on, and we'll talk about Gabriel Gudmundsson. Finally, over the weekend, we got the news that the left back Gabriel Gudmundsson had flown into Leeds to start his medical process and to tie up the last remaining details of his contract. Graham Smith from the Yorkshire Evening Post on Saturday confirmed that Gudmundsson would fly into Leeds on Sunday to formalise his deal and complete his medical. Gudmundsson will become Leeds' 4th signing of the summer should everything go to plan, and will join the squad just before pre-season kicks off. Assuming the final talks go to plan and that the medical goes well, Gudmundsson could be unveiled today or tomorrow morning as part of the Leeds United squad. Gudmundsson continues the 49ers plan this summer as being 26 years of age and 6 foot in height, so another tall player coming into that squad, and the attack-minded left back will add some very much needed dynamism on the left-hand side of the pitch. As with all of these deals, it's not done until it's done. If you're watching this later in the afternoon, it could already be done. If you're watching it in the morning when it was recorded, there's still a bit of work to be done on this one. So not over the line just yet, but very close to being done. But a very positive step having Gudmundsson at Thorpe Arch and completing his medical. Will give you the updates on that deal when it finally goes through and the details are made a bit more public. Let's move on. Let's talk about some breaking news last night, but it's not the only one. And last night, Leeds appeared to make their first approach in the goalkeeping department. But while Milinkovic-Savic was the name that was being talked about heavily last night, the reports this morning say that Leeds have also made a move for Lucas Perry in France. But let's start off with Vanja Milinkovic-Savic, and according to Gianluca Di Marzio in Italy, who has an excellent track record when it comes to Serie A deals, he says that last night Leeds United and Torino were in talks around information relating to the goalkeeper Vanja Milinkovic-Savic. In Di Marzio's article on his website, he said the following: Contracts between Torino and Leeds. The English have asked for information from goalkeeper Milinkovic-Savic. There have been contacts between Torino and Leeds in the last few hours. The topic was goalkeeper Milinkovic-Savic, for whom the English club have made inquiries. Napoli are always keeping an eye on the Serbian, but has not yet sunk him. Basically what they mean, and that is, as of right now, Napoli have yet to make a move for Milinkovic-Savic. Milinkovic-Savic does have a 19 million euro release clause, which some people are now suggesting is probably 17 million pounds. However, there's a complication in that. The 19 million euro release clause only relates to transfers within Serie A. He has an additional release clause for international transfers of 19 million pounds. So regardless of where he goes, they want to get their 19 million, whether it's euros or pounds. And as much as this is a positive move to see Leeds United move for the goalkeeper, Manchester United and Napoli are both said to still have firm interest in the keeper. But if Leeds can exercise that release clause, they could get this one done. But you would assume that speed is needed in this situation to get this one over the line before other interested parties get involved. Leeds making the approach now, and it being public, might just kick the other interested parties into action here and might see them start to make their approaches for Milinkovic-Savic. He's a phenomenal goalkeeper. He's 6'8". He's got a +10 XGOT. We talked about it on Saturday. His numbers are phenomenal for a keeper that finished where Torino did in the league in Serie A. So will be an excellent goalkeeper, but he's not the only one. And if reports in France are to be believed this morning, Leeds United may be just lining up a contingency plan just in case they don't get him, and that contingency could be Lyon goalkeeper Lucas Perry. According to L'Equipe in France, they claim that Perry is about to make a move to the Premier League. Perry is said to be a prime candidate to be sold by Lyon before their relegation appeal hearing takes place next week. L'Equipe understands that Perry could be sold in the coming days, and a fee of 23 million euro is being touted. That's about 20 million pounds, 19.5 million pounds there or thereabouts. But they say the Premier League is his most likely destination. It also states that there have been heavy links between Leeds and Perry, not only in France but also in England. We've all seen them. Another publication in France said that Leeds United were Perry's most likely destination. But again, I would just taper expectations on this one. There is significant interest in Lucas Perry around the place, so this one won't be that straightforward either. But Leeds appear to be happy with the defensive reinforcements and the rebuild that they've done so far this summer, assuming Gudmundsson comes in. They look like they are now moving their attention to the goalkeeping position, and Leeds are building this squad very much from the back forward. Don't concede goals, you don't lose games, and that gives you every chance to pick up points in a season. So a sensible approach right now. There's other players being linked as well right now, but yeah, one of those two goalkeepers, I would take either of the two of them right now. If you could give me one of them, two excellent keepers, and definitely would be a serious upgrade on what we've got right now. So interesting one to keep an eye on. We will very much keep an eye on over the next couple of days as well, and we'll see where these go. Let's move on. Let's talk about Anton Stach and reports of competition in him this morning. Leeds are still hopeful of convincing Anton Stach to move to West Yorkshire, but reports over the weekend state that Leeds United have significant competition from the Bundesliga. Reports state that it is increasingly likely that Anton Stach will leave Hoffenheim this summer, but Leeds face competition according to German outlet Kicker. Kickers say that Stach is considering leaving the Bundesliga side in the coming weeks, but Eintracht Frankfurt are labelled as the favourites to get a deal done for him. Frankfurt will be in a position to offer Stach European football next season, and it is a World Cup season we're coming into, but kickers state that there's currently no concrete talks between Stach and Frankfurt or Stach and Leeds United, and as of right now, no formal approach has been made for the player at this point. Stach is said to be one of a number of names in that midfield position that Leeds are looking at, but no formal approach, as I say, has been made by Leeds at this point right now. The YP and The Athletic confirmed over the last couple of weeks that Leeds do have interest in Anton Stach, but they both said the same thing, that this wouldn't be an imminent deal and it wouldn't be a quick deal, that this one would take time to get done, and reports coming out of Germany today would back up that, especially the line saying that the player expects to leave in the coming weeks. So not days, but weeks. We'll have to see where that one goes. Anton Stach would be a fantastic player for Leeds to get in, a 6'4" player as well. We'll continue to add to the giant building that's going on around Leeds right now, but we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, good player, but not a straightforward deal, and not by any stretch of the imagination close to being done at this point right now. Let's move into the rumour mill stories, and as I always say, the next two stories are coming from the back pages, not from overly reliable sources, so take these with a massive pinch of salt and we'll see where they go. But I wouldn't expect either of the two stories we're going to talk about to be anything that Leeds do imminently. Let's start off with the first one. This comes out of the Sunday Mirror, and that should be all the credibility you need on this one. But they say that Leeds United and West Ham have interest in Slavia Prague defender El Hadji Malik Diouf. Diouf is a Senegalese fullback and played against England in their recent international games and has been linked with a move to the Premier League this summer. The fee attached to this player is said to be anything between £17.2 million and £21.6 million, which would suggest that this is a very unlikely deal, seeing as Leeds are just about to bring in a left back for a lot less than that. West Ham and Nottingham Forest are both said to be the sides leading the race for the player, and it appears that Leeds' name has just been thrown into this mix to get some clicks on some articles online. Everyone seems to be putting Leeds' name into every single signing. I've seen Sunderland making moves for players this morning, and Leeds fans saying they're going after players Leeds are interested in that Leeds haven't been linked with at all. So, yeah, right now it's a rumour. I would probably put that one in the bin, but you can make up your own mind on that. That's the point of this. I'll give you the story. You decide whether you believe it or not. Let's move on and talk about Oscar Glock, and the latest on the Red Bull Salzburg attacker. Reports today in Germany state that Leeds have active interest in Oscar Glock and could make a move for him in the coming days and weeks. And he's been labelled as a major upgrade on our current number 10 position, which is Brendan Aronson. Glock is a two-footed creative attacker, which Leeds don't really have in the mix right now and do need that type of mould of player in that position, but it might not necessarily be Glock himself. According to Le Nouvel Echo, they say that there has no bid being placed by any side for Glock this summer, but say that Leeds are actively pursuing the number 10. Salzburg's journalists say that they are cautiously optimistic that Glock will get a move to Elland Road this summer and that a deal can be done, and Leeds' connections with Red Bull has been labelled as the reason for the optimism between the two. Leeds won't get a discount from Red Bull on this. A fee of anything between £21 million and £25 million and is said to be a rumoured fee needed to get the player across the line. But this isn't coming from overly credible sources at this point, I would say that. So as of right now, take it with a pinch of salt, see where this one goes. It could be a longer one before it gets done, but that Red Bull Leeds connection there, maybe Leeds can get a deal done for him on that one. We'll keep an eye on the reports coming out over the course of the day. If Gudmundsson gets done today, we'll pop on later on tonight with a live stream and give you the details on that. And again, the Leeds Creator Cup takes place in 13 days' time at the John Charles Stadium for Sport. Ticket details are down below. If you don't want to buy a ticket online, that's okay. You can pay at the gate on the day as well. There's a bar. It's going to be broadcasted live as well, so plenty of ways to catch the game if you want to, and a donation button down below if you do want to just donate as well. Folks, have a great rest of your day. Might see you later on, but if I don't, I will see you tomorrow morning for more Leeds news. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you. Bye.